Welcome to Behind the Lines. I'm Diane Dayton. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite events in the spring, and it is the 33rd Annual Boscov's Berks Jazz Fest. It's happening in Reading, Pennsylvania, and it's also coming into Lancaster County this year, too. So with us right now, we have John Ernesto. You are the Artistic Director with Berks Jazz Fest.
Yes,
Good to see you.
Nice to see you again, Diane.
And Margaret Cooper, Director of Mickey's Blackbox. Isn't this a great connection with the Jazz Fest? Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. So what's going on this year is a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at Mickey's Blackbox. For those that might not be familiar with what Mickey's Blackbox is, tell us a little bit about that.
Thanks for asking, Diane. So Mickey's Blackbox, we are a 650 capacity venue based in Lititz, Pennsylvania, just outside of the Rock Lititz campus. We're actually technically a part of it. We host a number of different events. Literally, if you dream it, we can do it. We have quinceañeras, we have theater shows, we have concerts. You might have caught a rock show or two. And now we're adding a Berks Jazz Fest to our roster. So we're really looking forward to being a part of it this year.
So this was a great collaboration. How did this come together, John?
Well, it actually started last June. Steve Smith reached out to me. Steve Smith is the Hall of Fame drummer. He was with Journey for many years. He does a lot of jazz work and has his band Vital Information. He was working on a new record, a new project. He was doing a tour, and I worked with him many times at various venues in Reading, and which I no longer are involved with. Well, they no longer exist. So,
okay, there you go.
But he was asked me to find some ideas where they could possibly play. So I said, let me give him some thought, and I knew Mickey's Black Box. Hadn't met Margaret, and a mutual friend, Matt Cullen, who's a key production guy for Berks Jazz Fest, also does production work at Mickey's Black Box. So I reached out to Matt, and I said, do you think they would be interested in presenting Steve Smith during this tour in June? So that's how it started. So we connected. They connected with Steve and his agent and manager, and they presented a show last June on a Tuesday night.
Yes.
And
Okay.
it was a great show. Nice crowd, great crowd. And
Yep.
That was my first experience of being inside Mickey's Black Box, and I was just like, whoa. It's like, this place is special.
It is special.
Yeah.
There's an intimacy, even with the fact that the capacity, you can seat who you do, but there's a beautiful atmosphere there, and the sound and everything is great.
Yes, we're very spoiled to have this resource right in our backyard.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have people come in from Virginia, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and they say, really, I was driving through cornfields and this just popped up. And I said, that's our lore.
Yes, indeed, it is.
Yeah.
So what's great about this is that the festival actually starts over a weekend and goes through the week into the end of the following weekend. But there's things going on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We know there's a lot of education, but there are 3 shows that are going to be at Mickey's Black Box. So tell us what they are. So this, April 8, 9, and 10?
That is correct. So on April 8th, we are welcoming Steve Smith once again, kind of a full circle event. Always happy to see that. Steve Smith will be coming with Janek Guizdala as well as Manuel Valera, Steve Smith and Vital Information. However, if you're a fan of Steve, he is doing a drumming clinic during the day. That's a very excellent opportunity to come check out some new technical skills, learn a thing or two, and just have some fun. So Monday is going to be a jam-packed day for us. Tuesday, we roll into Daniel Villarreal. He is a Chicago-based DJ and drummer with a very eclectic Latin-inspired sound. He will be supported by David Cullen, who is a local favorite, Grammy Award-winning guitarist, who's actually teaching over at Millersville now. So that'll be very, very thrilling. On Wednesday, we have the Hunter Tones. That is a 6-piece, high-energy, funk-driven horn band. That should be a real jam-packed fun event, and they are actually going to be bringing along Aki Burmis of Lake Street Dive to do some vocals and keys with them. So that's also a very, very thrilling experience. Not something you see very often, so I do hope you're able to make it.
100 Tones are amazing.
Yeah, please.
I've seen them several times with Kurt Elling when they did the Charlie Hunter show, and Aki's actually played an event in Reading with with Rachel Price and Rachel and Vilray, the duo show, and they brought him to play keyboard for that event.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be good stuff. Great way to spend a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday during Jazz Fest.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah.
That's the beauty with this festival, and I know we keep talking about it, and it's important how interesting the different shows are that are a part of this whole festival to bring it together. And if you get to go to a lot of it, you're going to get to experience a lot of different types of music. broaden your horizons too, I would assume,
Absolutely,
too.
absolutely, yeah.
So Mickey's Black Box does a lot of different things throughout the year, and that's what's really cool too, Margaret.
Yes, we really like to bring in all sorts of different creative opportunities for both the community and for touring musicians. We've welcomed national acts, we've welcomed local dance groups. So it's really fun to see all the different types of art, creativity, and performing arts that we're able to provide to the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we recently Mickey's Black Box hosted a Get Jazzed on the Road program on a Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
And we had clinicians, Gerald Veasley, and other clinicians that were there, and we had like 25 or 30 kids, and it was a great day. That was the first time we did that collaboration, where we brought the education to rock Lititz and Mickey's Black Box. So.
Yeah. I think it's great to bring this in. It's like a big embrace, isn't it? You know, it's
Well,
like a definitely big
I've always,
embrace.
we over the years we did collaborations in Allentown and other markets, and we really had never done anything in Lancaster County. And well, I used to live on the western side of the county. It takes me 15 minutes to get to Lititz, so it's not like it's far away. You know,
Right.
my wife's a big fan of Wilbur chocolate or Wilbur, so.
So there's, yes, that's an easy sell. Definitely so. Over the years, too, with the 33 years, John, you have brought in a lot of different artists from around the world. And I know even this year there's, going to be a really great list of artists that are going to be here. How hard is this to put this together?
It takes time. It's a year-long project. Many phone calls, emails, and text. But we have a good team of people, and you start with a blank sheet each year, and then you just kind of think of where you want. When you do a festival like ours, like on a Saturday, for instance, we'll have 5 or 6 shows. Well, you got to make sure the genres don't clash, and the audience could be different. Yeah. So you're offering choices for people that want to go see contemporary jazz, they want to go see straight ahead jazz, they want to go see blues, and so that's where the programming, you got to make sure you're on top of your game with that. But that's my favorite part of the festival has always been programming the music, working with other organizations like Mickey's Black Box, like working with the artists like Gerald Veasley, Rick Braun, and our old friend Chuck Lowe, who passed away in 2017, creating collaborations and different ideas to do stuff, present different shows, and that's always excited me,
And some of this starts on the fly too. I think that's almost how the late night jazz started one year, didn't it?
The late night jams, which Gerald Veasley hosts every year. They started small in different places, and the Thursday night jam, which is was now been branded the Chuck Lowe Memorial All-Star Jam, started out at the Peanut Bar downtown, with room, a tight space for you get the musicians in an area to play. After a while, it was jammed. You couldn't get people in it, and I said, the capitalists come in. Well, you can make money with it. So we found a venue. We went that went to the Abraham Lincoln Hotel, and eventually found its way to the major ballrooms.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And this year, in addition to incorporating Mickey's Black Box, it's at downtown at the DoubleTree by Hilton in Reading. Small and large, the grand and
both ballrooms. Yeah, large ballroom and small ballroom. Yeah.
And then we've got the Scottish Rite.
We have 6 major shows at the Scottish Rite. There's the major venues are the 2 DoubleTree venues, the Scottish Rite and the Miller Center.
Yeah, and all are great venues to experience in a different way. So if we were to try to find out more about Mickey's Black Box, where do we go?
So you can check out more information on our website at mickey'sblackbox.com. You'll find all sorts of fun stuff about our venue, as well as all the ticketing information, should you be interested in attending any of our Berks Jazz Fest shows. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Mickey's Black Box.
That's easy enough. And of course, it's berksjazzfest.com.
berksjazzfest.com.
And we've got Facebook.
We do. We're all over social media, so hopefully you'll just go to berksjazzfest.com. There's plenty of information there.
Absolutely. So there's all kinds of fun things that are being added too. I'll be doing some podcasts
Right,
with some
exactly.
artists too, so we can find that also on the website, and we'll be
Right.
sending those out as well.
And
They're
social
always
media,
fun.
podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
great.
it'll be fun. Thank you so much for being a part of this, and thank you for being a part of this family.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about another artist that's going to be there full force. Well, that's Gerald Veasley, and he's coming up in the next segment, so stay with us.
It's spring break for jazz lovers. The 33rd annual Boscov's Berks Jazz Fest, April 5th through the 14th. It's one of the foremost festivals in the world. With all your favorite top-name traditional, contemporary, blues, and gospel performers. Check out the complete lineup at berksjazzfest.com. 10 exciting days of concerts, jams, and more. Tickets are on sale now. For the latest artist, venue, and scheduling info, and for tickets, visit berksjazzfest.com.
Welcome back to Behind the Lines, and we're talking about the 33rd annual Boscov's Berks Jazz Fest in Reading, Pennsylvania. It's coming up Friday, April 5th, running through Sunday, April 14th. Joining John Ernesto and myself, fabulous bassist, and also Berks Jazz Fest artist and host Gerald Veasley. Thank you for being here, Gerald.
It's great to be here. Good to see you again.
And I see you have baby along,
I
right?
do, yeah. I brought along my signature bass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great looking. So, boy, you and John have been doing this forever, and this is such an amazing festival. It's great to work with John and the different incarnations of groups and shows that you have, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really innovative festival, and John is excellent at putting together new offerings. Some of the artists folks may have seen, but John often puts us and the other artists in new situations, playing with and creating new collaborations. And I think that creativity is what makes, one of the things that makes the festival very special. So an example of that is we're going to have one of the 4 jam sessions that I'll do will be a tribute to someone who was also an anchor of the Jazz Fest, which is a tribute to Nick Coleone.
Yeah.
And that's going to be just phenomenal with the musicians who often haven't played together, but all share this love of Nick Coleone, the great guitarist.
Yeah, and how about the music of Grover?
The music of Grover Washington Jr., sure. So John gave us an opportunity to bring back Grover's band. I was a part of that band for many years. Bill Jolly, his musical director, other members of the band that used to tour and record with him, with some very special guests. My favorite saxophone players, Everett Harp, Kim Waters, and my good friend, Mr. Kirk Whalen.
Yeah.
And they all share a love of Grover Washington Jr. That's going to be a phenomenal night.
Yeah, and you know, Kurt's going to be there. He's going to be doing Gospel According to Jazz on that first Sunday, right, John?
Yes, it's been a while since before COVID. You know, we were doing Gospel According to Jazz. It was part of the festival. For many years, it closed the festival, and we had major gospel guests come in with Kirk, and so I thought it was a good time to bring it back. Kurt's coming to town on Saturday, April the 6th, in a special co-bill with Lee Ritenour and Dave Grusin.
Yeah.
And so his band's going to stay over, and they're going to do the gospel show, which is going to feature Jonathan Butler, his band, a local gospel choir, and we just finalized. There's an organization called the Reading Choral Society, and there's 80 voices.
Wow.
They're going to be part of the show, and they're going to be during the show, they're also going to be part of a grand finale with, probably close to 100 voices in the band on stage.
Wow. Yeah, and that's
I
at
think
the
they're going to be
Scottish Rite.
singing
Yeah.
Falling in Love with Jesus. That would be you heard it first here.
Yeah,
so.
okay.
So we're excited about
Yeah.
we're excited about that. It's,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always have these visions of having a grand finale sometime.
Now that's a finale.
If you ever watch the Kennedy Senate Honors when they do
Yes.
the musical tributes, many times it turns into a big. And I always say to Susie, I said, gotta have one of those moments during Jazz Festival.
Yeah, well, that's going to be it.
Yeah,
That's definitely going to
yeah.
be it.
Yeah.
Well, earlier that day, I'm excited. It's going to be at the Doubletree Grand Ballroom, and this is a brunch show, bringing back Jazz in Pink, and I think that's been almost 10 years since they've been there,
It's been
right?
a long time, yeah. It's
Yeah.
a long time. They played at the Crown Plaza. It may have been the Sheraton when they played there last.
Yeah.
before they changed brands. Yeah.
Well, they have 2 CDs out, and I have it that Gail said we're working on another one.
Yeah.
So they are working on that
Very
too.
talented.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be some great talent there too. And then we also have, boy, a lot of other things going on. Of course, we have, the Chuck Loeb Memorial All-Star Jam. It's always that first Thursday. And the Cats. Tell me about the Cats that are coming. Now, that's one of the early bird concerts.
Well, those are all members of Brian Bromberg's band
Okay.
who are going to be here all week doing education work and playing with different bands. Like Andrew New has Tony Moore playing in his band. So they're coming in throughout the week. So they were here and I said we started doing an early bird show on Friday. People are in town, so at 3 o'clock. So I said to Brian, why don't you let your band give them a chance to play their music?
Yeah.
And he said, what are we going to call them? And he said, let's call them the Cats.
There you go, and that's
That's the name.
That's stuck.
So Brian's going to sit in with them.
Yeah.
So, it's Ray Fuller, it's Tony Moore, it's Tom Zink, it's Lynn Roundtree, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Oh, Michael Paulo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a chance to let them guys, those artists,
Yeah.
play their music and have some fun.
And they're all top-rated
Yeah.
artists.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that first Friday, the welcome at 3 o'clock is going to be Greg Adams and East Bay Soul.
Right.
So, if you remember Greg Adams from Tower of Power, you
Right.
know what you're going to be getting with this, and it's a nine-piece band that's
Yeah,
coming in.
Yeah.
That's going to be definitely a lot of fun. Wow. So I go through all of this here.
It's a lot of pages.
It
Diane.
is a lot of pain. But Chris Big Dog Davis is back again, and he's going to celebrate some women in jazz, isn't he?
Yeah, this has become an annual tradition.
This is the third one, yeah.
Yeah, and he's an amazing producer and keyboardist, and he always assembles a wonderful roster of women. And this year, I think the beginning is a tribute to Broadway, right?
Yep. Since Melba Moore is one of the guest vocalists, obviously she won a Tony Award for her performance in Pearly 1970. So Big Dog called me up and said, we should use Broadway as a theme. And I said, so he's already talked, he has the whole, I just talked to him the other day, and he has, Mesa is going to sing The Impossible Dream.
Oh, wow.
Paulette McWilliams is in Send in the Clowns.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Nicole Hendry's going to sing Alfie.
Oh, yeah.
And I forget the song there's another song that Melba was doing. But,
Okay.
And then there's a local dancer. Her name was Rachel Britton Hart.
Okay.
And she dances on Broadway. She's a choreographer, and she's originally from Reading. So she performed a couple years ago during the show. So Chris wanted me to ask her to bring her back. So she's going to
That's going to be
add to it.
excellent.
So the whole first half of that program is going to be called Jazz to Broadway.
See, I think this is very
That's
cool.
phenomenal, yeah.
This is something unique to Berks Jazz Fest. I think this is great. I love the fact that you're bringing Tuck and Patty back. I love them. And Joey Alexander.
Yeah.
Tell us, Joey is really phenomenal.
Yeah, he's obviously he's becoming a young man now. First time he played, I think he was 12 or 13,
Right.
and he performed. He was scheduled to play at a festival, in I guess it was like March or February. 60 Minutes did a piece on him on Sunday night, and after that, the show just exploded, sold out real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to have Joey back, and Tuck and Patty actually played the festival the first time in 1992, the second year.
Wow.
The second year. Same year as Gerald.
Okay.
Gerald's first year was 1992 with a band called Reverie. So
Reverie,
yeah.
great days, great days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, this has grown and grown and grown. We know that Brian Bromberg's going to be there full force with the brunch show that last Sunday, and that's going to really be great. And we're going to be wrapping it up with Brian Culbertson, and I just spoke to him yesterday, actually, and we're talking about this new show and something he's going to debut.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
think that's going to be really, really good.
Yeah.
And that's actually at a different time this time, right?
Yeah, we had decided to, since it's the end of 10 days, have the finale show at 4 o'clock, which was supposed to be the finale of Brian Culbertson. But after we got that all done, I got a phone call from Brian's manager, David Britz, and Jerome Collins, who's one of the singers with the Straight No Chaser, is putting together a solo career. So they're debuting the show at our festival at 6 o'clock that night.
Yeah.
We added it to the festival at the Miller Center, and he's a Lehigh Valley, he's an Allentown native, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
So
That's just great.
Love that.
Well, Gerald, what do you enjoy most about all of this?
Well, I mean, I love the music. I get to love to see my peers. I love the late night jams, of course, which
Of
we call the
course.
unscripted jams. And there's so many things. I can't identify one thing, but it feels like a family because we, as musicians, we don't see each other all the time. So Berks becomes our class reunion or family reunion, and everybody's so welcoming. They all are imbued with the spirit that John brings, which is a can-do spirit, a welcoming spirit. It's bigger than business. It's bigger than even just the music. It's has really a true family atmosphere, and it extends into the other stakeholders in the community, whether it's the businesses, the hotels, of course the volunteers, all the educational partners, just everyone coming together for the spirit of this music.
Yeah, and to continue that spirit after the festival, we have got to plug South. So go for it.
Sure. Well, I learned a lot from John Ernesto about producing music, and my wife and I, Roxanne, we've been curating shows at a jazz club in Philadelphia called South, and we're into our 8th year, and we've got some great shows coming up, including Cindy Blackman Santana. That she will appear before the festival happens, but with just so many artists. Jeff Cash was coming, Brian Simpson, just about anybody that you can think of in the smooth jazz arena and beyond.
Yeah.
We have it.
Well, it's good to have another home because I know it's all like a camp for us. You know, we come to Berks Jazz Fest and it's 10 great days and it's a family get together and there's great music and everybody leaves on such a high note because you're elevated when you're there. So kudos to you and thank you so much for what you've done all these years, John.
Well, thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
33
It's been
years.
it's been a great partnership and a collaboration with so many people.
Yeah.
There's so many people who've been part of the festival, make it a success and keeps it going. So
It's a labor of love.
I mean, how long
Yeah.
have we been working together?
Yeah,
you know?
that's right.
Yeah.
It's
A
been
lot
I
of
know.
years sitting around right here.
Yeah, a couple of
Yeah.
decades
Yeah.
here and two of
Yeah.
you, yeah. So thank you for taking time today and
Sure.
telling everybody what to expect because
Sure.
we want to get them there too. You wait till you see what you have been missing when you show up this year. Okay. Thank you so much again and thank you
Thank
for joining
you.
us today too. I'm Diane Dayton with Behind the Lines, reminding you to look behind the lines. You might be surprised what you find.